Shalom, shalom, Israel, giving all praises to the Most High and His Son, Yahawashi. You know, hope your brothers had a blessed day, sisters had a blessed day. Everybody took care of their business. You know, Sundays for a lot of us is the day we get to take care of our business. You know, if I give everybody one thing before we start the class, every day is a wasted day. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at every day as a wasted day, if you look back on today, did you take care of the things that you had the opportunity to take care of? Did you waste today? Did you allow yourself to knock out the things that you've been putting aside for the past 2, 3, 4 weeks and haven't taken care of? And that's just a little something to put on your mind before we start the class. Today's class, this walk is easy, but the battle against yourself is hard. You know, this walk is not complicated, and this walk is not hard on paper. If you write down on paper what this walk requires from you, it's not a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it's not difficult. But when putting it into action, it becomes hard because your flesh or your conscience doesn't want to do a lot of the things that is simply required to make it easy for you. On paper, it's just love your brother, you know, show up for class, you know, read your Bible, prepare for the future, do the things that a man would do the things a woman would do, you know, love the Lord. It's not hard on paper, but when you're putting it into action, the little details that go into that, fighting against yourself to accomplish those things makes it hard.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And we got to make this battle easy on ourselves, man. Just by recognizing how easy the walk is, you can make it easier on yourself. Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12.
Read.
And now, Israel.
And now, Israel, read.
What doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So when we read in that, what's the image that we see in our head? How do we interpret that within our own mind when we see the word require? Require. When we see that word require, a lot of us, we think of the level of responsibility of what we have to do. We look at the level of accountability we're held up to. We look at the standards that we're now held up to, and it becomes too substantial within our minds for us to be able to look at it and say that's something we can do. When we see that word, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee, it becomes too much for us already, because now there's requirements. But let's look at what the Lord requires of thee. Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
Now, read that again, because there's a certain word in there that changes the whole context of that sentence. Read it again from the top.
But to fear the Lord.
Read it again from the top.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12.
Read.
And now, Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
He's saying, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? Read.
But,
hold on, what's that word?
But,
hold on, what's that word?
But.
So when you saying, what do I need from you, but?
To fear the Lord thy God.
What do I require of you but to fear me? That changes the context of it. Now it's saying, what do I really need from you but to just do this one thing? But to just do these simple things? What do I need from you but to fear the Lord thy God? Now, when we see fear the Lord thy God, what is the requirements that go behind that we are so daunted by, that we look at it and we say that's something it's too much of a hassle for me to train myself to fear the Lord thy God. It's too much of a mountain for me to climb, for me to get to that point where I have true fear of the Lord thy God. But what does fear the Lord thy God really mean, and how does it make it something that's easy for you to accomplish? Give me Proverbs 22 and 4. What does fear of the Lord thy God mean? And how can we make it into a task something that you can accomplish with relative ease, just by changing the way you think about certain things, or just by, you know, understanding things a certain way? Because I'm going to tell you something. Brothers don't realize how simple this walk can be. And brothers out there in the truth are making it seem like it's difficult because they want people to worship them.
That's right.
A brother that wants you to worship him is going to make it seem like to you that everything he does is super this and super that. Instead of just being real with you, man, bro, all I have to do is this. All I do is read my Bible an hour a day.
That's right.
All I do is just pray to the Lord, and I love the Lord, and I love my brothers. And make it simple, and make it something that you can accomplish as well. See, read this for me, Art.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 4.
Read.
By humility.
By what?
By humility.
By what?
By humility.
By humility. Humbling yourself and just backing yourself down. You know, stop trying to be more than what you can be. Just back down. Stop having so much pride. Stop being so angry all the time. And humble yourself. Read.
And the fear of the Lord.
By humility and the fear of the Lord. Fear of the Lord is just humbling yourself. And not just humbling yourself to man, but humbling yourself to God.
That's right.
That's all it takes. Humble yourself to whatever the Lord leads your way. Read.
Are riches.
Riches. Read.
And honor.
Read.
And life.
So if you really want riches, honor, and life, if you want those things, all you got to do is just humble yourself to the Lord. That's all you got to do. When you humble yourself to the Lord, all these things follow. You start being more diligent with your work. You know, you start taking care, you start reading more, you start becoming more intelligent. And intelligence is an important thing in this walk, man.
Bring it out.
You know, we can't just be a bunch of Bible thumpers that all we just rely on, you know, we rely on Jesus all the time, and we don't educate ourselves, and we don't read other books, and we don't study videos, and we don't make sure we have knowledge. Israel has become a nation that don't really know nothing, and intelligence is vital in life.
That's right.
Humble yourself and educate yourself. Give me Proverbs 28:14. Read this, Art.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 14.
Read.
Happy.
Hold on, what?
Happy.
Hold on, what?
Happy.
See, happiness. Happiness. Whatever happened to happiness in this walk, man?
That's right.
You know, that's a real thing that people don't, when they read in the Bible, they thinking, man, forget happiness, man. I'm supposed to be a soldier for the Lord. Bro, that's not the case.
Bring it out.
The Lord wants nothing but for us to be happy, man.
That's right.
If you're not happy, say something. If you're not happy, go to the people that are in your life and say something about it, man. Because when you don't say nothing, that leads to you killing yourself.
That's right.
When I say killing yourself, I mean going back into the world. Because when you out in the world, what do they do when they happy? They unhappy. They kill themselves.
That's right.
What do you do in the truth when you're unhappy? You kill yourself. You go back in the world. So if you're not happy, say something. But you're supposed to be happy, man. And if you're not happy, then something's wrong. Read.
Happy is the man that feareth always.
Happy is the man that just humble himself and fall back into what he is. Stop trying to be more than what he is and fall back into his role and do what he's supposed to do, and don't overexert yourself.
That's right.
And just do what the Lord asks you to do. What more can you do? Have you ever seen a cog in a machine that strains itself? Or does the cog just go around and around in a circle and do what that cog is supposed to do? Have you ever seen a pulley in the pulley system that do more than what it's supposed to do? Have you ever seen one piston in the engine that do more than it's supposed to do?
Yeah.
Every little cog gonna do what it's built to do.
That's right.
Read.
But he that hardeneth his heart.
But see, the man that hardens his mind, hardens his heart, hardens his self to the point where can't nobody reach out to him.
That's right.
Every time somebody says something to him, it angers him. It hardened his heart to the point where everything is poison to him. He can't humble himself, and he can't love himself or his brothers. He that hardeneth his heart, read,
shall fall into mischief.
So when you harden yourself to the point where you can't hear the Lord's voice, when you harden yourself to the point where you can't nobody tell you nothing, when you harden yourself to the point where you can't feel the love radiating from your brothers and radiating from your sisters, that's when you're going to start to fall into mischief.
That's right.
You're going to start to fall into hatred. You're going to start to fall into sadness. You're going to start to fall into anger. When all you had to do was just be happy.
That's right.
Fear the Lord. Humble yourself. Be happy. Give me Sirach chapter 2 and verse 17. But when you make this walk harder than what it is, that's when you begin to be upset, sad in your heart, sad in your mind. Read this,
the book of Sirach, chapter 14.
Chapter 2, verse 17.
Verse 17.
Read this.
They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts.
See, they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts. Prepare your inner mind. Prepare your inner self to be able to be more. All you got to do is prepare yourself. See, if you preparing yourself, that means you educating yourself.
That's right.
You learning how to be able to provide for yourself. You learning things. What else is there to prepare? You reading your Bible, yes, but what more are you preparing? You know, prepare yourself to be able to feed yourself. It costs you $15 to order a book on how to plant a seed in the ground. You can order that book. Go online, order your book on how to save your seeds. Go online, order the book on how to get water out from a stream, how to dig a well. These are books that will provide you knowledge in your future.
That's
See,
right.
prepare in your heart. Read.
And humble their souls in his sight.
And then when bad things happen, or when trials come your way, or when a brother say something to you, or a sister say something to you that strikes you, or that doesn't sit well with you, if you would just humble your heart, then things, they bounce off of you.
That's right.
But when you harden your heart, that's when it hits you like armor. And you start to harden yourself. You don't want those things to hit you. But when you humble yourself and you absorb everything coming from your brothers and coming from your sisters, it allowed you to grow with those things.
That's right.
If a tree is stuck inside of a cage, can it grow? Yeah. Real talk. If a tree is stuck inside of a cage, can it grow? It won't. And that's what happens when you harden your heart. When you harden your heart, the tree that's in your heart can't grow.
That's right.
Because it's stuck in a cage. Read on.
Saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord.
You see, and when it say you humbling yourself and you fearing, you're not fearing man, you fear the Lord.
That's right.
Fall into the hands of the Lord. Stop being mad when somebody say something to you all the time, because you're not falling into their hands. Fall into the hands of the Lord.
That's right.
Give everything to the Lord. If they was wrong for what they said to you, bro, they will get handled.
That's right.
And if they wasn't, then they won't. And that's just the way it is, bro. Live with it. You know, but see, people don't trust in the Lord. They don't trust that the Lord got their back, so they got to have their own back. Read them. Read on.
And not into the hands of men.
Read.
For as his
majesty
is.
For as his majesty is, read.
So is his mercy.
So if you fallen into the hands of the Lord, bro, the Lord will be merciful with you if you have faith in him. If you give yourself into the hands of the Lord is merciful. And it say it right there. The Lord is not going to destroy you. If you humble in yourself, the Lord will only make you prosper. The Lord will only give you the blessings. That's if right. You humble in yourself. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12 again. Let's go back. But the thing is, when brothers and sisters don't have faith in God, then they don't give themselves to him and they carry their own burdens. And you don't have to carry your own burdens. Read on.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12.
Read.
And now, Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
But to fear the Lord thy God is simple. Just humble yourself. Just give yourself to him. You know, just give your problems to him. What better option could you have than if you dealing with something at work, at your job, and the Lord say, okay, well, all you got to do is just hand it over to me. I got you. But too many people want to hold on to it. No, I got it, God. I got it, Lord. I'll take care of it. And that's what our brothers and sisters are doing. Read.
To walk in all his ways.
Now, when we see to walk in all of his ways, how high of a mountain is that to climb? Oh, how could I be like him? How could I walk in all his ways? It's too much. I'm but a lowly human. I'm but a lowly man that can't meet up to the expectations. Give me Matthew 11 and 28. What does it mean to walk in all of his ways? Is he asking you to be a shining, shimmering gold man that climbs out of the ocean and does no wrong? Is that what he's asking of you when he says to walk in all of his ways? Real talk. Read this,
Book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28.
Read.
Come unto me.
Come unto him. Read.
All ye that labor.
See, the thing is, the Lord know when you laboring. He know it. You don't have to hate yourself. You don't have to look down on yourself. If you laboring and you working hard and things ain't going your way, man, he see you. Read.
And are heavy laden.
And if you heavy laden and things are weighing down on you, he sees you. Read.
And I will give you rest.
He offering you that rest. If things are weighing down on you, it's too much for you. It's heavy laden. It's too much labor. You putting in too much and you not getting enough back. He see you. He say, come unto him. Read.
Take my yoke upon you.
See, when you come unto him, all you got to do is take his yoke upon you. And we're going to find out what that yoke is, but just take his yoke upon you. Read about him. Read.
And learn of me.
And learn of him. See, that's taking the yoke upon him. When you taking that yoke upon you, you learning of him. That's all you got to do.
That's right.
Give it to him and go read 5 or 10 chapters out your Bible. It's just like that. Real talk. If you going through some problems and you have them heavy labor, heavy laden, say, okay, Lord, that's all you got to do. You think the Lord can't hear you? Say, Lord, I give it to you. And then go read 5 or 10 chapters out your Bible and watch how the answer come to your spirit.
That's right.
Come into your life. Read.
For I am meek and lowly in heart.
See, the Lord say the way he act, the way he walk, is he is humble and lowly in his heart. He don't exalt himself. He just live his life.
That's right.
That's literally what this truth is about. Live your own life. Make yourself into the best man or woman you can be. Don't be worried about what he doing, what she doing. Live your best life. Be the best man or woman you can be in his name, for Christ. Not for that man, not for that woman, for Christ, for you. To make yourself happy. So that when you look in the mirror, you see the God or the princess that you're supposed to be. But read.
And ye shall find rest unto your soul.
See, if you learn about how to be humble, if you learn about how to be lowly in heart, you will find that rest unto your souls, because 99% of your problems come from the fact that you have too high expectations for yourself.
That's right.
You think you're supposed to be this and that and this and that, and you don't have to be that. You just have to humble yourself. You just have to love your brother. You just have to love yourself. And you just have to have no evil speaking in your mouth. That's what a lot of your problems come from. Evil speaking in your mind and evil speaking in your mouth. And if you can get rid of that, it will give you rest into your souls. Read.
For my yoke is easy.
See, he say his yoke, his walk is easy. His burdens are easy. The way he lived his life is easy, man. It's easy. Read.
And my burden is light.
See, the Lord say if you want to trade with him, he'll do it in a heartbeat like that.
That's right.
He'll give it to you, man. That easy life. Because the walk and the yoke is all in your mind, man. When you really look at your life, man, it ain't as difficult. You still eating. You still drinking.
That's
you
right.
Still got clothes on your back. You still got shoes on your feet. You still got a roof over your head. And those are the things we have to focus on. Give me Hebrews 4 and 15. It's just Israel need to give it back to him. Read this, Art.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 15.
Read.
For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmity.
See, whatever the walk that Christ walked, it say he was not that high priest that wasn't touched with the same things you was going through.
That's right.
You know, that's not the image you should see of him. You shouldn't see that man who he didn't have no temptation and he didn't have no devil in his ear talking. That's not the image. You should see a brother. When you see Christ, you should see your brother sitting right next to you with wisdom.
That's right.
With the light shining out of his eyes, the light shining out of his mouth when he speak. That's Christ. The light shining from him. Read.
But was in all points tempted, like as we are.
He was tempted just like we are. Read.
Yet without sin.
He just didn't give in to it.
That's right.
That's all it was. And see, when you giving into it, that's that opportunity for you to go to Christ and give it all up to him. Say, Lord, I know I gave into it. Let me give it up to you. Let me trade with you. Give me your blood. Give me your grace, your mercy.
Bring it out.
That I can make it another day. That I can be more like you tomorrow. But instead, we hold on to that sin we committed. We hold on to that mistake we made, and we look down on ourselves. And we see the devil in the mirror instead of seeing Christ. Read.
Let us therefore come boldly.
Hold on, what are we supposed to do?
Come boldly.
What are we supposed to do?
Come boldly.
But instead, because we hate ourselves, we can't come boldly. Instead, we look at ourselves like dirt. And so how can dirt come boldly? Read.
Unto the throne of grace.
How can dirt come boldly unto the throne of grace? You can't. If you see yourself like dirt, you're going to stay in the dirt.
That's right.
But if you see yourself as the Prince of God that you are, then you come boldly to the throne of grace, because you know it's your inheritance. You know it is promised unto you.
That's right.
Read.
That we may obtain mercy.
That we may obtain that mercy. Read.
And find grace to help in time of need.
And find that grace to help you when you're in your darkest hour.
That's right.
What is grace? What is grace if not to help you when you need it the most? And that's what brothers forget. Because when they at their lowest, when they at their darkest hour, when they at the bottom of the barrel, that's when they think that they don't deserve grace. But do the man that's at the top, that's holy all the time, that's always in the spirit, do he need grace? Nah, man. Grace was made for you when you at the bottom.
That's right.
Grace was made for you when you don't know what to do with yourself. Grace was made for you when you look in that mirror and you see dirt. That's what the grace was for. So you can look in that mirror and you can see the princess you're supposed to be. You can see the princess that you're supposed to be. That's what the grace was made for. Go back to verse 6. Verse 6. Read that. Chapter 4, verse 6.
Chapter 4, verse 6.
Read.
Seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein.
Read on.
And they to whom it was first preached.
And they to whom it was first preached. Read.
Entered not in because of unbelief.
Because of unbelief, man. Because they just don't believe in themselves. They don't believe that Christ believe in them. Because when we read unbelief, we thinking it's, oh, you don't believe in Christ. It's not the case, because we know if you put them fringes on, you believe that there is a Christ somewhere. We know that. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Even say you believe there is one God, you do well, but the devils also believe and tremble. You know, we all know it. But what does it mean when you don't really believe? You don't believe that Christ believes in you.
Bring it out.
You don't believe that Christ is within you. You don't believe that you have the light of Christ within you. You don't believe in yourself. Read.
Again, he limiteth a certain day.
Read on.
Saying in David, today, after so long a time, as it is said, today, if ye will hear his voice. Today, don't forget about yesterday, man. Forget it. That's right.
You don't need yesterday. Today, if ye will hear his voice, read.
Harden not your heart.
Just don't harden your heart. If you still hearing his voice, that means you still got a chance.
That's right.
But too many brothers and sisters hear the voice and they think they're not worthy. They hear the voice and they remember yesterday and it make them harden their heart. They remember what they did yesterday and it harden your heart to the voice that you're hearing today. Read.
For if Yahawashi had given them rest.
See, if Yahawashi had given you rest, read.
Then would he not afterward have spoken of another day?
Read on.
There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God.
See, the Lord say that the rest is waiting on you. The rest is waiting on you. Read.
For he that is entered into his rest.
He that is entered into the Lord's rest, read.
He also hath ceased from his own work.
You don't have to worry about all those problems, man. You don't. All you have to do is focus on your future and the benefits and the profits and the goodness of your future. You don't have to focus on the problems. The problems are easy fixes. Problems are but a day.
That's right.
They're for but a day. Every problem, if you go back and look in your life, every problem you had, you fixed it. You ain't had no problem where it lasted for years and years and years and years and decades and decades. It's over and done with. Read.
As God did from his.
As God did from his. Read.
Let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest.
See, your labors too many brothers are laboring to fix their mistakes.
That's right.
That's where the problem becomes. We laboring to fix our mistakes instead of laboring to get that rest. If you laboring to fix your mistakes, it's like if you walking in the sand and all you doing is covering footprints in the sand. Everywhere you walk, you're going to make more footprints.
That's right.
You ain't never going to be done. You never going to finish. If you got the mud on your shoes and you in there trying to mop, You always going to be mopping up mud.
That's right.
You cannot labor to always fix your own mistakes. You got to labor for your future and for your rest. The mistakes will get fixed by Christ. Christ got your back. Read.
Lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief.
Don't fall after that same unbelief. Don't fall because of it. Because you don't believe in yourself. Because you don't believe Christ got your back. Because you don't believe Christ is in you. Because you don't believe that you can rise from the ashes. You don't believe in yourself, so it causes you to fall. Because that's one of the main problems our people have. When they hear about that unbelief, they hear about believing in Christ, believe in me, coming to me, they think they got it. Because they know Christ exists. They think they got it.
That's right.
But see, you know Christ exists, but you don't believe Christ is in you. That's your problem. Mark 16:9. Mark chapter 16, verse 9. And if we would only look in the mirror and see Christ within ourselves, look at your brother, see Christ within him, our problems would disappear. Read.
The book of Mark, chapter 16, verse 9.
Read.
Now when Yahawashi was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene.
He appeared first to Mary Magdalene. Read.
Out of whom he had cast 7 devils.
And out of whom he had cast 7 devils. See, Christ is appearing now. And he's casting those devils out right now amongst us. But read.
And she went and told them that he had been with him.
And see, we're going and we telling the people he's here now. The people that believing in him with the fringes on, coming into the truth. We saying he's coming and he's changing and he's giving us the truth, the real understanding now. Read.
As they mourn and wept.
As they mourning and weeping. Brothers and sisters out there believing that he ain't come yet. Believing that the future. They always looking towards the future instead of trying to build up the now. Building themselves up now. Read.
And they, when they had heard that he was alive.
And when they hearing that now is the time to grow. Now is the time to build the kingdom. Now is the time to set ourselves up. Read.
He had been seen of her.
Read.
Believed not.
They don't believe it. They don't believe that Christ is here now. They don't believe Christ is within you. They don't believe that they are what they say they are.
That's right.
They believe we still in our GGAs until the time he fall out the sky. They don't believe in themselves. Read.
After that, he appeared in another form.
Read.
Unto 2 of them.
You got to have the 2 witnesses. You got to have more than one occurrence. You got to have more than one person saying this. Read.
As they walked and went unto the country.
Read.
And they went and told it unto the residue.
Read on.
Neither believed they them.
Israel don't want to believe that Christ is acting now. That Christ is building the kingdom actively now. Read.
Afterward, he appeared unto 11 as they sat at meat.
Read on.
And upbraided them with their unbelief.
Read.
And hardness of heart.
There go that hardness of heart again. Upbraided our peoples, man, because of their unbelief and because they've hardened their hearts. Because they don't want to just believe that they can accomplish. That we can accomplish.
That's right.
We want to. The only way we can see ourselves accomplishing anything is if something supernatural happens. We don't really believe that we can do anything.
Bring that out.
The only thing we believe in is spaceships and miracles, man. That's it. Because without spaceships and miracles, we ain't got nothing. That's the way we believe. We don't believe that with our own 2 hands we can do anything. Read.
Because they believed not them which had seen him after he was risen.
Read on.
And he said unto them, Go ye into all the world.
Read.
And preach the gospel to every creature.
He said, go into all the world and preach the lesson that you just learned to every creature. That lesson was quit with the unbelief. If Christ is here, then believe in him.
That's right.
If Christ is here, then believe in you. If Christ is here, then believe in the nation. Preach that gospel. Read.
He that believeth and is baptized
Read.
Shall be saved.
See, he that believeth that Christ is here and is baptized in the real truth and the real doctrine shall be saved. Read.
But he that believeth not.
But he that don't believe, read.
shall be damned.
But he that don't believe in himself, he that don't believe in himself shall be damned. But we're going to get more on that. Read.
And these signs shall follow them that believe.
And these signs shall follow those that truly believe in themselves. Read.
In my name shall they cast out devils.
See, in my name, in the Lord's name, in Yahawashi's name, they shall cast out deceitful things. Read.
They shall speak with new tongues.
They shall speak with the knowledge of the Lord, the real understanding. Read.
They shall take up serpents.
They shall take up lies. Read.
And if they drink any deadly thing.
And if anything, they not just going to hear anything somebody got to say. Read.
It shall not hurt them.
That's why a man that truly believes, you can't gossip to him.
That's right.
You can't murmur to him because it's not going to hurt him. Read.
They shall lay hands on the sick.
And when you see that your brother is sick, read.
And they shall recover.
You can heal your own brother with your belief.
That's right.
When you truly believe in yourself and you believe in your brother, you can heal your brother that's sick. But too many brothers see a brother that's sick and they don't believe in them at all. They'll see a brother that's sick and they'll be like, oh, well, I guess he gone. Have no belief. Have no faith. Have no trust. Have no love.
Bring it out.
Not they brother's keeper, not one bit. Don't even care about him. As soon as he starts to get bugged out, this, that, and the third. No love for their brother. No reaching out for their brother. Am I my brother's keeper? That's what our people believe. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. Read this, Art.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12.
Read.
And now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
Read on.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
See, just to humble yourself. Read.
To walk in all his ways.
And to give your problems to him and walk in the simplicity of his ways. Just walk in the simplicity of his ways. Read.
And to love him.
And to love him. Give me John 21:17. What? How easy is it to love God? Is it a hard thing to do? And when you look at yourself, do you believe that you love God? And in the words that come out your mouth 9 times out of 10 are different than the words that you speak in your mind.
That's right.
In your mind, you might say, "Nah, I don't," but in your mouth, you'll never say that. You'll say, "Yes, I do." But you gotta be real with yourself. Read this, Ak.
The book of John, chapter 21, verse 17.
Read.
He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me?
Do you love Christ? Do you really love Christ? Read.
Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, lovest thou me?
Read.
And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee.
Thou knowest that I love you. Christ, read.
Yahawashi said unto him,
read.
Feed my sheep.
See, if you love Christ, you're going to feed your brother. You're going to feed your sister with whatever they need. It could be physical things. It could be giving them the things they need. Or it could be just being there for them. It could be giving them a phone call. It could be listening to them when they have troubles. It being that backbone for your brother and your sister is the love of Christ. That's all it is. Wouldn't you want to? And let's read on. Let's get more on that. Read.
Verily, verily, I say unto thee.
Read.
When thou wasn't young.
When thou was young. Read.
Thou girdest thyself.
See, you did everything for yourself. Read.
And walkest whither thou wouldest.
And you didn't need nobody when you young. Read.
But when thou shalt be old.
But when the time come that you need somebody, read.
Thou shalt stretch forth thy hands.
Thou shalt stretch forth thy hands, read.
And another shall gird.
And your brother gonna be there for you. Because you was there for him.
That's right.
Read.
And carry thee whither thou wouldest not.
And your brother, your sister gonna be there for you. Because you was there for them, and that's all it take. That's all it take. And we'll do that for our family out in the world. But when it comes to this truth, that's too much.
That's right.
It becomes too much of a burden. It becomes something that's too much. It's too much required of me. It's too much required of me for me to love on my brother, for me to be there for him. Give me Romans 13:8. But when it come out to that world, if your cousin call you asking for, hey man, I just need $20, man. That's all I need. We'll give him that $20 because we feel like that blood means something. We feel like that blood means something. But when it comes to your brother in this truth, we won't even answer the phone call. Phone call show up, oh, it's him again. We'll hang it up.
Bring it out.
See, read.
The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 8.
Read.
Owe no man anything.
See, you don't owe nobody nothing, man. You really don't. If you're not happy, man, go do what make you happy. Real talk. Because the Lord don't want nobody in this truth that's going to just be in here unhappy. That's not what it's about. If you unhappy in this truth, go out there and do what make you happy. Real talk. Go be happy. Whatever you going to do. But if you're going to come in this truth, you don't owe no man nothing. Read.
But to love one another.
The only thing you owe is to love one another, man. That's the only thing. That's the only thing required of you. Read.
For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law.
For he that hath true love for his brother and his sister, he's done his job. You've done your job when you love, when you have true love. Read.
For this, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. Read.
Thou shalt not kill.
Read.
Thou shalt not steal.
Read on.
Thou shalt not bear false witness.
Read on.
Thou shalt not covet.
Read on.
And if there be any other commandment,
if there be all the other commandments, read.
It is briefly comprehended in this saying.
See, all the commandments are comprehended, understood by this. Read.
In this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So when you reading the Torah and you reading the commandments, all those commandments are based off of if you love your neighbor, you'll do these things. You know, these things will come naturally. If you see your brother's sheep on the side of the road, you're going to grab it and you're going to bring it back to your brother. That's a commandment. It come with loving your neighbor like you love yourself. Doing unto him as you would want to be done unto you.
That's right.
All those things in there is just coming from that. Read.
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Read on.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
That's fulfilling of the law. Give me Romans 14 and 22. Read this.
The book of Romans, chapter 14, verse 22.
Read.
Hast thou faith?
Hast thou faith? Do you have faith? We'll say, okay, I believe that Jesus exists. I believe that Yahawashi exists. I believe that Christ exists. I have faith. Okay. Let's read on.
Have it to thyself.
Hold on. Have it to what?
Have it to thyself.
Have it to what?
Have it to thyself.
See, it say have faith in yourself.
Right.
See, Christ flipping on you. He say, have thou faith. Okay. Have faith in yourself. Read.
Before God.
Have faith in yourself before God, man.
That's right.
Read.
Happy is he.
Happy. See, there it go again. Happy. Happiness is important. Happiness is vital in this walk. Right. If you're not happy, you cannot walk this walk.
That's right.
Real talk. If you're not happy, you will fall out the truth. Right. Read.
Happy is he.
Read.
That commendeth not himself.
That condemneth not himself. Read.
In that thing which he allowed.
So if you looking at the things in your life that you doing and you condemning yourself, man, you only doing it to yourself.
That's right.
You condemning. Ain't nobody looking around. Ain't nobody standing in a circle around you condemning you but yourself. Yeah. If you doing something in the dark, man, and you condemning yourself, man, let it go and give it to the Lord. If you condemning yourself, you only putting yourself in a dark hole, man.
That's right.
You only putting yourself in a condition to where you can't open up to your brothers. You can't be honest. You can't seek counsel or nothing because you feel like everybody gonna judge you the same way you judging yourself.
That's right.
If you got a problem, go to your brothers, bro. They not gonna treat you like garbage. You treat yourself like garbage. That's your problem, man. You don't put that on somebody else. Read.
And he that
doubteth, read,
is damned if he eats.
So if you doubt yourself, if you have doubt in your salvation, you have doubt in your calling, man, you only condemning yourself.
That's right.
Read.
Because he eateth not of faith.
It's not true faith. If you don't have faith in yourself, it's not true faith. It's not. It's just you saying something. You just speaking it with your mouth, but in your heart, it's far from him. Read.
For whatsoever is not of faith.
Read.
Is sin.
That's what it all falls down to. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12 again. We're gonna go back. It's a short class, but it's vital that Israel. I'm in the last. If you notice, the last couple of weeks, it's been going into Loving yourself. That is vital, man. Loving yourself. Having faith in yourself. Looking in the mirror and seeing somebody that you like being around.
That's right.
Too many of us look at ourselves and we see all of our problems. We see all of our faults. We see all of our mistakes when we look in the mirror. And we don't see no light whatsoever. All we see is darkness. And that's a shame. Because when your brother look at you, he see a glorious light.
That's right.
Real talk. When your sister look at you, she see a glorious light. But when you look at yourself in the mirror, all you see is darkness. That's a personal problem. And it's something that you have to give back to Christ. Read.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12.
Read.
And now, Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God would require of thee?
Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
It's all he require of you is to humble yourself. Read.
To walk in all his ways.
To give it all up to him. Read.
And to love him.
And to love yourself. When you love yourself, you love him.
That's right.
If you love yourself, there will be no darkness in your heart. Read.
And to serve the Lord thy God.
Read.
With all thy heart and with all thy soul.
Give me Deuteronomy 28:45. It say to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. So where do our problems come from in life, man? Read this for me.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45.
Read.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee.
Read.
And shall pursue thee.
See, that's why do you think it is that everything you put your hands to, man, it's like these curses be chasing after you. It's like you can't get away from, you can't catch a break. Read.
And overtake thee.
And overtake thee. Read.
Till thou be destroyed.
You're only destroying yourself. Ain't nobody standing in a circle around you, stoning you with stones to destroy you, man.
That's right.
Name one person that's doing it. It's only you. You destroying yourself. Read.
Because thou hardenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Read on.
To keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Read.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
How many Israelites with fringes on are ignoring the signs?
That's right.
The signs are all around you. You be thinking, man, Lord, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to do, man? Why is this happening to me? And the Lord like, bro, you ignoring the signs. You going through this. Maybe you should go and read the curses again. See what you're doing wrong.
That's right.
Maybe you should go to, we always read the curses, but we ignore them because we think it only apply to Israel on the streets. Maybe you should go and look at what you're doing wrong. Why? Read.
And upon thy seed forever.
And upon thy seed forever. Read.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness.
So if you ain't got joy in your heart, that's why you going through curses.
That's right.
It's just like that. If you ain't got joy in your heart, that's enough to put you in curses. Read.
And with gladness of heart.
If you ain't got gladness in your heart, that's enough to keep you in the curses. When you ain't got that joy, when you ain't got that gladness, read.
For the abundance of all things.
And if only you would get some joy in your life, if only you would get some gladness in your heart, you would have an abundance of all things. If only.
That's right.
Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy.
Therefore, because thou don't have no gladness or no joy in your heart toward yourself, therefore shalt thou be stuck serving thine enemies. Because you don't want to serve yourself. You don't want to serve the Lord. Because you hate yourself. Why would you serve somebody that you hate? But instead you love that man in that office. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Read.
In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
You ever heard of somebody punishing themselves because they believe they're guilty? That's what it literally what it is. You doing it to yourself because in your heart you believe you guilty.
That's right.
You believe you deserve that. Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Read.
Until he hath destroyed thee.
Jump down to verse 63.
Verse 63.
Read.
And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good.
See, the Lord rejoices over you to do you good, man. Read.
and to multiply you.
Read.
So the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you.
The Lord rejoiced to do whatever you want him to do.
That's right.
The Lord has got your back. If you hate yourself, the Lord gonna destroy you. You want to destroy yourself, the Lord got your back, man. He'll help you do that. You love yourself and want to be the best man you can be. The Lord will help you do that too.
That's right.
Whatever you want to do, the Lord there to answer the door. Whatever door you knocking on, the Lord there to answer the door. So if you knocking on the door to destruction, the Lord gonna open that door for you.
That's right.
Read.
And to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it.
Read on.
And the Lord shall scatter them among all people.
Read on.
From the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there shall serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Read on.
Even wood and stone.
Read.
And among these nations
Read on.
shalt thou find no ease.
That's why we ain't found, you can't find no ease, because you're putting yourself through it.
That's right.
You can't find no ease to your soul, to your feet. Read on.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
But didn't he say that if you came to him and learned of him, he would give you rest?
That's right.
So if the sole of your foot not finding no rest, it's simply because you ain't knocking on the right door.
That's right.
You ain't asking for the right things. Read.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
A trembling heart, read.
And failing of eyes.
Read on.
And sorrow of mind.
See, it sounds like you got some sadness in your life, man.
That's right.
You got some anger in your life, man. You got some trembling in your life. You got fear in your life. All these things are within you, in your mind. And you could conquer those with the light of gladness, with the light of joy.
That's right.
If you would just imagine that light coming into your life and giving you that lightness and that joy, you could get rid of those things. But because you allow that dark cloud to be over you, you allow that dark cloud. That dark cloud is comforting. Read.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
It say that life shall hang in doubt before thee. Read.
And thou shalt fear day and night.
Read.
And shall have none assurance of thy life.
When you have no assurance in thy life, it's because you don't really trust in the Lord.
That's right.
When you trust in the Lord, then you're sure that he got your back. You have assurance. When you have no assurance, it's because you don't believe he got your back at all. You don't. When you look behind you, you don't see Christ. You see mistakes. That's right. You see failure. You see faults. You see things you didn't do right. You see all your mistakes, but then you don't even realize the successes that you've had. You don't even realize the boundaries that you've hurdled over. You don't even realize the walls that you've climbed. You don't even realize the heights that you came to from where you was 5 years ago.
Look at that.
You don't even see that. All we see is mistakes. All we see is faults. Read.
In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were even.
Read on.
And at even thou shalt say, would God it were morning. For the fear of thine heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see.
All you gonna see is negativity.
That's right.
All you gonna have is fear. No hope, no positivity, no love, no future. Just if you look at all those things, hope, positivity, love, and future, what you gonna have the opposite? You're gonna have fear, you're gonna have negativity, you're gonna have hate, and you're going to have always looking at the past and always looking at your failures.
That's right.
Like that tree that the bishop always pull up, showing the negative and the positive side. Go Google it. You can see that information. You can see which side do you fall on. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 13.
Book of Deuteronomy. Chapter 10, verse 13.
Read.
To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Read on.
For thy good.
It's all. Why do we think that everything that we doing is for the Lord? You know, it is for the Lord because everything is for the Lord. But hear me when I'm saying it. The Lord don't need you.
That's right. That's right.
The Lord don't need you to stop eating pork. That don't affect him. You know what I'm saying? The Lord don't need you to keep the Sabbath day. It don't affect him. You know what I'm saying? Everything you doing for the Lord benefits you.
That's right.
It's all for you. Everything he gave you is for you. When you reject the things that he gave you, you only hurting yourself.
That's right.
You only bringing damage to your own life. You only hurting yourself. Read.
Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Lord thy God.
Read on.
And the earth also.
Read on.
With all that therein is. Only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them.
That brothers and sisters don't believe they're worthy of the Lord's love. It said the Lord had the delight in your forefathers to love them. Read.
And he chose their seed after them.
And he chose you. The Lord loved you and chose you.
That's right.
Why do you believe you're not worthy of that love? Why? Because they'll deny it. They'll be like, well, I know the Lord loved me. But when they look in that mirror, they don't really believe it. It's not the truth. They don't have faith. They don't believe that the Lord really loved them, man. They don't believe that they're worthy of it. Read.
Even you above all people.
Read.
As it is this day.
See, you really, when you look in the mirror, you should know the Lord chose you above all people even this day.
That's right.
Read.
Circumcise, therefore, the foreskin of your heart.
Cut off that pride. Cut off that hatred for yourself. Cut off that hardness around your heart. Read.
And be no more stiff-necked.
Be no more stiff-necked. Give me Exodus chapter 10 and verse 1. Read that out.
Book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 1.
Read.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Go unto Pharaoh.
Go in unto Pharaoh. Read.
For I have hardened his heart.
See, the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, man. That same spirit that Pharaoh was in when he didn't want to let the children go is the same spirit you in. You don't want to let yourself go.
That's right.
The Lord saying, let yourself go. Let it go. And you harden in your heart. Read.
And the heart of his servants.
Read.
That I might shew them my signs before him.
See, the Lord saying your heart is hardened because you need to see. You need to see. Some brothers, they heart get hardened because they are the signs. They are the ones that need to be put out.
That's
to
right.
show you an example of what it means. Read.
And that they mayest tell in the ears of thy son.
Read.
And of thy son's son, that things I have wrought in Egypt.
Read on.
And my signs which I have done among them, that ye may know how that I am the Lord.
These are the examples you can see that when you look at that brother that just left out the truth. When you look at that sister that just left out the truth, and you can see, man, everything that they was going through, man, I need to avoid those things.
That's right.
Everything that was going on in their spirit, the darkness they had in their eyes, the hatred they had for themselves, everything that they was going through, man, I need to take that example, and I need to avoid that. But brothers can't learn from those mistakes. Why? Because they too busy hating on themselves to look and see an example of what they shouldn't be. They only look in them. We got to look at ourselves and see something worth saving. There is something in you that's worth saving. So save it.
That's right.
Read.
And Moses and Aaron came unto Pharaoh and said unto him,
Read.
Thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews.
Read on.
How long wilt thou refuse to humble thyself before me?
How long will you refuse to just humble yourself before him? How long wilt thou refuse to just lay it all on the table? Open yourself up and just release it all. Stop hardening your heart and just let it all go. How long wilt thou refuse? Read.
Let my people go, that they may serve me.
Let yourself go so you can go serve the Lord.
That's right.
Let it go. Let it go so you can actually become the servant that you're supposed to be. Let it go. Let it all go, man. Give me Hebrews chapter 3 and verse 7. Read this out.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 3, verse 7.
Read.
Therefore, as the Holy Ghost saith, today, if you will hear his voice.
Today, if you will hear his voice. Read.
Harden not your hearts.
Harden not your hearts. Read.
As in the provocation.
As in the provoking of him. Read.
In the day of temptation. In the wilderness.
This is that same day of temptation in the wilderness, man. Read.
When your fathers tempted me.
When we tempting the Lord. Read.
Proved me.
Proving him. Read.
And saw my work 40 years.
We seeing his works now, man. Read.
Therefore I was grieved with that generation.
See, the Lord is grieved when you provoking him. The Lord is grieved when you harden his heart, man. How would you feel? Look, if you a parent out there, look at your children. If you was correcting your children didn't want to hear nothing you say. They had that anger in their heart. They had that sadness in their heart. They had that cloud over them. Is that something that would please you? Or would be that's something that show you they don't want to listen to you? Read.
And said, they do always err in their heart.
The mistakes you made, I'm going to tell you something. The mistakes that you making, they not the mistakes, the physical mistakes you made. That's not the mistakes. The mistakes you're making is the mistakes you're making in your mind right now.
That's right.
Those are the mistakes you should be looking at. Right. The mistakes you made in the physical, man, those can be fixed. Right. That was yesterday. That ain't nothing. The mistakes you're making in your mind, man, those are permanent. Read.
And they have not known my way.
Read.
So I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest.
That's why you can't enter into rest. It's because of your unbelief. Read.
Take heed, brethren.
Read on.
Lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief.
It's an evil. When you have that unbelief, it's evil. That's evil for you to look at yourself and not see Christ, man.
That's right.
That's evil for you to not believe that that the Lord is behind you. When all he do is show you love and then you believe he don't love you. Read.
In departing from the living God.
Read on.
But exhort one another daily.
Exhort one another daily. Read.
While it is called today.
You should exhort each other. Exhort yourself. Exhort each other. Exhort your brother. Exhort your sister today. Read.
Lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin.
Read on.
For we are made partakers of Christ, if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end.
And that's real talk, because when every one of us, when we first came into the truth, we felt the light, we felt the love, we felt that Christ was calling us into the truth.
That's
but
right.
The more we seen that we still was meant. A lot of us believe when we come into the truth, there's no more mistakes. We perfect now. We just gonna be keeping the commandments, and we meeting up to the criteria. And then when we continue to make mistakes, we lost confidence. When we continue to make mistakes, we lost faith. We didn't believe in ourselves anymore. We didn't have that same confidence anymore. And he's saying, don't fall for that sin, man. Don't fall for it, because that's what's gonna cause you to lose your confidence. Don't fall for that. Keep your confidence. You gonna make mistakes. Keep your confidence. Read.
While it is said, today, if you will hear his voice,
read.
Harden not your heart. As in the provocation. Read on. For some, when they had heard, did provoke.
When they heard, they provoked. Read.
Howbeit not all that come out of Egypt by Moses.
Read on.
But with whom was he grieved 40 years?
With who was he grieved 40 years? Read.
Was it not with them that had sinned?
Was it not with them that had sinned? Read.
Whose carcasses fell in the wilderness?
Are you allowing your carcasses to fall here? Are you allowing your carcass to fall here in the wilderness? You allowing it? Or are you picking yourself back up and putting the sinew back on the bones? Raising yourself back from the dead. Read.
And to whom swore he that they should not enter into rest?
Who did he swear they should not enter into rest? Read.
But to them that believe not.
The people that are sworn not to enter into rest is to the people that don't believe.
That's right.
They don't truly have faith. They don't truly believe that the Lord got them. They don't believe that they're worthy of the rest. Read.
So we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief.
That's the only thing that's holding you back, is your belief. That's it. The only reason you can't find rest in your life is because you don't believe you're worthy of that rest.
That's right.
We're going to end it out on that, man. But examine you. Look in the mirror. And I challenge you, go in that mirror, look in your eyes. Don't look at your mouth. Don't look at your chin. Don't look at your forehead. But look in your eyes and see the light of Christ within you. Shalom.
Shalom.